Hi, good morning everyone. Today is 6th of June 2020. Uh, Today I'm led to share about one of my testimony which I still remember when I was a young boy below the age of 12 years old. I remember that uh, at, at those time my late grandfather and my late grandmother were still alive, and my parents oftentimes took me and my siblings to the village or longhouse as we call it here in Sarawak. So each time we went to the longhouse, my father and my late grandfather took me to a river. The river is close to our longhouse. It was not a wide river. It was a mid-size or small size. I think it was small size river. And my late grandfather and my father would try to teach me to swim in the river and floating, but I oftentimes fail to float in the river. One day I went to the river alone. I tried to swim and float. As I recall, there were nobody at the river at that time. I venture alone. I tried to float, especially floating at the river. And I was at a shallow water. As I float, the current of the river took me further into a deeper area of the river. And I was panicking. I remember I struggled to breathe because the water entered my nose, entered my mouth. I remember I was struggling and I was crying. In my heart, I was calling God, help me. As the river carried me more further, and as I was losing strength and drowning, I was about to give up on my life. Suddenly appeared a lady in her early 30s, if I'm not mistaken, in her early 30s. Suddenly appeared next to me. She was wearing a sarong, and suddenly she grabbed my hand and dragged me by swimming to a more shallow river. And I remember that as I arrived at the shallow river, I was thankful, but I don't know who that lady was. I was below 12 years old and she was about early 30s. Now I'm 50. I wonder if she is still alive today. So after I was safe, I hurried back to the longhouse. And as of now, as of today, I still remember this incident. It almost cost my life. There are many incidents in Sarawak where children were playing in the river and drowned and died. But back then, I was saved by God. Should God does not save me, I would have died. I would have died in that river because I don't know how to swim. I don't know how to float in the river. So I'm thankful to God, and I'm also thankful to that lady. I still remember also as I climbed the stairs to go back to the longhouse, to our longhouse, that lady was still at the river. I don't know whether it's an angel or what, but I never knew that lady. I don't know her name. And it's still a mystery to me after all these years. So I'm thankful to God. So the message here is that God loves me. God loves you too. God is watching. He is always watching His people, His children, whether we can see Him or not, whether we feel Him or not. He is always watching. So I'm thankful to God that He saved me at that river. And from there, I learned that in my life, each time I feel that I'm not loved by God, I'm not worthy, I will remember that incident and many other incidents where God saved me, healed me, and answered my prayers. So this testimony is one of the testimony of my personal life where God intervention, where God saved me, where God helped me. So I'm trying to glorify God by becoming a living testimony for God, for Jesus. This is not a fake or made up stories. I was almost drowned, and I'm thankful to God till today. Back then, we don't have video camera or YouTube to inform about this testimony. I remember it because each time I feel unloved or I try to remember or what did God ever did or ever do in my life. So this is one of it. This is one of the evidence of me personally being saved by God in that river. And I'm thankful to God for that. If not, I wouldn't make it. I wouldn't make it. I don't know how to swim. I don't know how to float. I already lost strength. I was about to close my eyes when the lady just appeared next to me and grabbed my hand and dragged me by swimming to a more shallow river. So that's my testimony of real life, how God saved me. So if you like this video, do share it to glorify God. Thank you so much for watching and listening. God bless you all. Amen.